is KNDO 23, your local news station.
KNDO Local News 11 at 11 starts now.
Three elk are mauled to death near the Oak Creek feeding station, a pack of dogs being blamed. Also, if you plan to own an RV this year and you may end up paying hundreds of dollars more to license it, we'll tell you why. And some big snows, a blizzard hits the Northeast, and the impact is being felt all the way across the country. There's a live picture of Rockefeller Center right now. Latest now on the war on terror, North Korea threatening to abandon the 1953 treaty that ended the Korean War. Good evening, I'm Gary Darigol. North Korea is accusing the U.S. of plotting an attack on the communist state. A spokesman for the People's Army there is quoted as saying the U.S. is building up reinforcement around the Korean peninsula. Tensions now been rising in Korea over the North's recent decision to restart its nuclear weapons programs in violations of international treaties. Well, European leaders, meantime, are warning Baghdad tonight also that it has one last chance to disarm peacefully. The European Union met today in Belgium to resolve their differing views on how to deal with Iraq. The leaders there are calling for more time for UN inspectors to disarm Iraq. And UN weapons inspectors are in the process now of destroying the first batch of banned Iraqi weapons. Stocks of mustard gas and the artillery shells that could deliver the biological agent were found last week at a missile factory about 100 miles northeast of Baghdad. UN weapons inspectors inventoried the mustard gas shells in the 1990s, but the weapons had not been destroyed by the time the inspectors left Iraq in 1998. Well, the nation may not be on orange terror alert for much longer. Homeland Security Secretary Tom Ridge says the high terror alert will probably be lowered fairly soon. Ridge also defends the Bush administration's decision to raise the threat level, even though some critics have been skeptical of some of the information that led to this decision to go to the orange alert. Well, bad news for all of us about gas prices. They are still climbing, no doubt. You've seen or even paid the high prices. KNDO Local News reporter Pamela Kriegel was checking out the prices around Yakima a little bit earlier today. She explains just how much we've seen them jump.
AAA says gas prices are the highest they've ever been for the month of February. They actually went up just 10 cents from just last week. Now you can see, for example, at this gas station behind me, at this AM PM, the price for regular unleaded is nearly $1.54 per gallon. Now in the Yakima area, prices range anywhere from about $1.50 to nearly $1.70 for regular unleaded gas. Now the national average right now is $1.60 per gallon for regular unleaded, but it's as high as $2 in some places like California. Now, according to AAA, gas prices are actually up about 45% from this time just last year. Of course, we all buy gas and are impacted by these high prices, but most people can drive less to cut costs. But people who can't really drive less are truckers. They're severely impacted by this price hike.
Oh, it's a dramatic effect on the trucking because the biggest cost you have in trucking is diesel fuel, and the trucks only average 5 miles to the gallon.
According to AAA, the average price for regular unleaded gas is the highest it's been in nearly 2 years. In Yakima, Pamela Kriegel, KNDO Local News, 11 at 11.
Well, AAA tells KNDO prices for oil and gasoline have increased recently because of the worry about tensions in the Middle East and the recent strike in Venezuela. A new basic health plan for Washington. That's what Governor Gary Locke is calling for tonight. The governor wants to revamp the state's basic health plan that covers low-income families in Washington. It would give health care coverage to 11,000 more people. The governor says redesigning basic health would save money and also cover more people. A proposal to find money for state parks would reinstate part of that hated motor vehicle excise tax, but only on motor homes, travel trailers, and campers. The bill would impose a 0.8% excise tax on RVs, but that works out to about $360 a year on a $40,000 rig. They say it would raise about $27 million to maintain state parks and other outdoor recreation areas. Well, a pack of dogs are killing elk in the Oak Creek area, and it's got wildlife agents upset. The evidence left behind leaves wildlife managers believing neighbors' dogs are to blame. That evidence includes the bite marks, paw prints, and more importantly, the fact the elk are being killed but not eaten. Agents say coyotes would eat the animals if they killed the elk. It's easy enough for domestic dogs to take advantage of young, weak elk calves.
The weather gets nicer and the grass starts growing, they'll start gaining energy, but right now, at the end of any winter, even a very mild one such as this, they're in a weakened state and they can't get away from continual chasing by dogs or other predators.
Well, the Department of Fish and Wildlife is now asking pet owners to make sure they check their dogs' faces for blood and certainly not to allow their dogs to roam free at night. Leaking gas tanks in the Yakima area are being watched closely tonight for fire danger. East Valley fire crews had to pump 5,000 gallons of gas from a containment basin here last night when the gasoline leaked from tanks at the East Valley Market on Beaudry and Postma roads. Fire crews were back on the scene today spraying foam to prevent gas fumes from catching fire and exploding. Fire and Ecology Department crews will be back on the scene again tomorrow to see how much more cleanup is needed there. And new information on the search for a Yakima police chief. The city now planning to use a consultant from the Seattle area. They've been identified as Waldron and Company to recruit new candidates for the job. This comes after the resume of the city's top candidate did not pass a background check. The city conducted a search last year, brought in 3 candidates for interviews, including that man there who was the top candidate, but after he was eliminated, the city decided to start over. And the city of Yakima is trying to correct its procedures for letting you comment on important city decisions. The city was told it failed to include enough public involvement in the Congdon Orchards rezone. You see the Congdon Orchards land there. So tomorrow you'll get your chance to comment on the process the city uses for its comprehensive plan. You can head to the City Council chambers downtown at 1 o'clock in the afternoon if you want to comment. Around the Northwest tonight, snow in the Cascades and more on the way. In the higher elevations, 4 to 8 inches of snow fell in some areas last night. It's snowing right now at White Pass, Snoqualmie Pass, and Sadis Pass. This is video of White Pass a little bit earlier this year. 2 hikers, meantime, are missing on Mount Rainier. Look at the snow falling there. Rescue workers will resume their search tomorrow. The 2 men from Western Washington were expected back on Sunday. Park officials say the hikers had plenty of extra food and enough fuel to melt snow for several days. They also say it's common for climbers to be late during this kind of bad weather. Across America tonight, rescuers in Colorado are now searching for a man who might be buried in an avalanche. It happened near Loveland ski area. A couple of men were snowshoeing together, but they were in an out-of-bounds area. The first man escaped and called authorities on his cell phone. He told them he thinks the other man was behind him and could be trapped in the slide. Well, the city of Chicago plans to go ahead with criminal action against owners of a nightclub where at least 21 people died overnight. City officials say in addition to fire code violations, including locked and blocked doors, the second floor of the building should never have been used. It's believed that hundreds of people were inside the club when a fight broke out. Someone sprayed pepper spray. That led to a stampede for the door, and people were crushed to death. 2 Tennessee children are feared dead tonight after heavy rains swept their car off a bridge last night. Their aunt, who was driving, was able to get out of the car. Rescuers say the woman drove past warning signs to try to cross the bridge. Officials believe the 2 children, the woman's niece and nephew, are still in the car underwater. Around the world tonight, an arson attack on a subway train in South Korea leaves 3 people dead and 114 others hurt. Police arrested a 46-year-old man. The witnesses say he carried a flaming milk carton into the subway carriage on Tuesday. 12 subway workers are believed to still be trapped in that subway. Well, a small town in Newfoundland, Canada, forces people to evacuate. An ice jam caused 3 different rivers to spill over their banks. Houses were flooded by almost 5 feet of frigid water, while cars were frozen in ice there. You can see that maybe weeks before people can go back into their homes. Well, more local news now. Students who failed the state's high school WASL test could get another try under a new proposal. Governor Gary Locke and State School Superintendent Terry Bergeson announced that proposal today. These are kids preparing for the WASL test last year. In 2008, high school students would be required to pass the 10th grade WASL to get a diploma. But today's proposal would authorize retakes and alternatives for students who didn't pass the test the first time around. Well, blizzard continues to pound the northeast part of the country tonight. New York woke up to a foot of snow and more falling. You're looking right now at a live picture, in fact, from Rockefeller Center tonight. You might see some of the snowflakes falling there. Looks like they have plowed some of the streets somewhat. New York's Mayor Michael Bloomberg predicted it would take nearly 2 days and cost $17 million to get the city's roads all clear. Some side streets may never be dug out at all. Well, and take a look at a blizzard in the Boston area. Besides being cold and snowy, people there had to deal with 0 visibility and 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Look at that. Forecasters are calling it the biggest storm in at least 7 years there. And the storm closed airports from North Carolina to New England, and because many of those airports are hubs, air travel was affected all across the U.S. That included SeaTac. Even in sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida here, people lined up trying to figure out a way to get out and beat on canceled flights. Some have been told they won't get out until Friday. No blizzards here in the valley, but the Cascades, as we say, are seeing some snow. Here's KNDO meteorologist Jason Stiff with your local fast alert weather forecast.
Yeah, we do have some snow in our region, but not in the valleys. We do have some snow in the mountains. There's actually a snow advisory for the Cascades. Up to 8 inches possible. In some places, we'll get a little bit more than 8 inches by tomorrow morning. Most of precipitation in the lowlands is in the Columbia Basin now. We had a little bit of light rain around the Yakima and Kittitas valleys, but that is coming to an end. We're expecting mostly cloudy skies overnight, with still a couple showers here and there. The overnight lows will be in the mid to upper 30s. Then tomorrow, expect a mix of sun and clouds, and temperatures won't be too bad for this time of year. A high of 52 on Tuesday. Those are for your first look at the weather. Now here's your leadoff sports with Derek Deis.
Thanks, Jason. The Portland Trail Blazers were trying to win their second straight tonight as the New York Knicks paid a visit to the Rose Garden. The Trail Sprewell's name has been tossed around in trade rumors. As of late, but he wasn't much of a factor tonight. Rasheed Wallace left open, and he hits the 3 ball to put the Blazers up by 4 in the third. Then it's Arvydas Sabonis with the behind-the-back pass to Derek Anderson for the triple from the same spot, and the Blazers beat the Knicks 99-91. Now, coming up later in sports, the M's are talking World Series already. We'll hear from the M's coming up in about 10 minutes. Gary?
All right, look forward to that. False alarms are costing you money. More often than not, when police get called to check a security alarm, they find nothing. We'll tell you what's being done about the problem next in tonight's KNDO Local News In Depth. That wraps up 11 minutes of nonstop news, weather, and sports at 11. This is KNDO Local News 11 at 11.
Closed caption of KNDO Local News is brought to you by KNDO.com.
During Dodge Power Days, get the best values in America. Take our best products like Dodge Ram Heavy Duty, the 250 horsepower Intrepid SXT, the best-selling minivan ever, and the V8-powered Darigol. Plus our best warranty, Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Plus our best deals, like up to a $4,500 cash allowance, or 0% financing on most models. Add it all up, and it equals the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer or visit Dodge.com.
We want to change the way you feel about long distance.
Announcing new long distance service from Quest.
We asked what you want, and we've been listening.
Here's the proof. New plans designed for the way you call.
Introducing Quest Long Distance for Washington. Call 1-866-QUEST-LD for great rates by the minute if you talk a little, or by the month if you talk a lot. Call 1-866-QUEST-LD or visit us online.
We've got new plans at Quest.
All designed for you.
That's our spirit of service. Quest.
Hey, Rick, is that you?
Jim? Hey!
Looks like you're on your way to work.
Yeah, Subway.
The one right up at the next stop?
That's the one.
Hey, anything new at Subway?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because right now Subway has a spicy buffalo chicken sandwich, tender chicken strips topped with Frank's Red Hot Cayenne pepper sauce, and a creamy ranch dressing, all on fresh baked gourmet bread.
We're getting good at this.
Subway, eat fresh!
Time is running out.
For the 2003 sale at Steve Hahn's VW Audi Suzuki. 2003, $20 down, 0 first month payment, $3 to fill your tank. The hottest sport utility on the road. A 99 Durango, over $20,000 Kelly Blue Book value. Steve's price, $14,990. Kelly Blue Book for a 99 Audi A4 Quattro is $19,985. Steve's price, $12,990 while it lasts. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now get to South First and Meade, Yakima.
A portion of the news is brought to you by your Northwest Jeep dealers.
It's KNDO Local News In Depth. If Yakima can come up with an effective city ordinance, it could save you $100,000 a year. 98% of all burglar alarm calls that police in Yakima go on are false, and that means it's costing you money. The city is in the midst of a study tracking those false alarms. KNDO Local News In-Depth reporter Travis Mayfield has more details now.
In years past, the city of Yakima actually met with local alarm companies to tell them which of their customers were seeing more false alarms than the police thought they should be. Then the alarm companies actually went to those customers, even sending out letters saying they needed to cut down on their false alarms. The alarm companies say that cut down the problem by 40%. Now, though, those numbers creeping back up again, and maybe the only solution is a legal one.
If police dispatchers in Salt Lake City were alerted by a burglar alarm like this, they wouldn't instantly send a police officer to check it out. Instead, that city requires the alarm company to verify it's not a false alarm.
And have those people check for any alarms first and look and see what's going on and then contact law enforcement.
Since that ordinance took effect December 1st of 2000, Salt Lake City has seen a 90% decrease in alarm response calls for service. 6,338 officer hours redirected to other police priorities, $400,000 saved in associated personnel costs, and a 20% decrease in burglaries. Alarm companies here in Yakima, though, say that's simply not feasible for them.
And it's an increased expense. You're going to be talking about higher monthly charges for customers, and whether or not they are going to get their money's worth out of the service, we're not sure.
In Kennewick, that city requires all alarm companies to be licensed to get permits to install their alarms, and they fine users who have false alarms more than once every 6 months.
If doing these things would increase the priority level for residential alarms, then I could see that being a useful thing. But if the priority level is still at the bottom and it's still going to take them 45 minutes to respond, then I don't know that it's going to do much good.
Tacoma and Spokane have city ordinances that fine users as well. Police and alarm companies here, though, agree that's not the answer for Yakima.
And when you have 3,000 alarm calls in 2001, and out of those 3,000 alarm calls, we made 6 arrests, that tells us that we need to take a hard look at how we prioritize alarm calls.
YPD is, of course, watching all of those other cities that have ordinances that deal with false alarms to see how they're working out. Nothing on the table at this moment to officially consider anything like that in Yakima, but it might be on the horizon. Reporting for KNDO Local News in Depth, I'm Travis Mayfield.
Lake City's program, you can check it out on our website at KNDO.com. We have a link there for you. Well, a rainy night here in the valley. We're going to show you a live picture now from our Northwest Infonet tower cam here in Yakima. There's a picture of Fruitvale. You can see some traffic moving along right there. Looks like some flashing police lights as well. Your local fast alert weather forecast coming up next with meteorologist Jason Stiff. Now let's take a look at today's highs and lows. As you can see, we hit 50 for a high today in Yakima, overnight low of 30. Now let's take a look at our Mountain Pass report. This is KNDO Local News, 11 at 11.
This President's Day, Chrysler wants to celebrate your freedom of choice. Because right now, during the President's Day event, you can get 0% APR financing on 300M and Concord. Or choose between 0% financing or a $3,500 cash allowance on the 2003 Town & Country. You can even get a $2,500 cash allowance on the 2003 Sebring sedan. Plus, get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. The only freedom you don't have is time. So get to your Chrysler dealer before President's Day is over.
You're thinking about buying new tires when suddenly it hits you. Freebie time at the Les Schwab sign. More than $1 billion worth given away this month. Party pack or right out of the freezer.
A big extra at no extra charge.
Great buys on tires, too. The West's largest selection in stock, starting at just $19.95. Freebie, our 39th year of celebrating one of the West's most popular events.
Free beef now at the Les Schwab sign.
It's not just about planning. It's about living and long-term relationships that outweigh short-term gains. At Edward Jones, it's about more than investing. It's about knowing you.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams. Edward Jones, recognized as a leader in investor satisfaction.
Dr. Schultz?
It's me. I sold my dental practice to become a flight attendant.
But you hate to travel.
Yeah, but I was paying for this national plan my wireless company sold me, and now I actually get to use it. Peanuts?
At U.S. Cellular, great wireless service starts with award-winning customer service.
So they'll make sure you get the plan that fits your needs.
U.S. Cellular. We connect with you. Get a Sony Ericsson T206 phone for just $29.95.
A portion of the news is brought to you by Quest, the spirit of service.
Jason Stipp's Fast Alert Forecast had the American Meteorological Society's seal of approval.
Good Monday evening and happy President's Day, or at least the last hour or so of it, as we take a look outside the Northwest Infonet Tower Cam. A pretty nice evening for us. It could be a lot colder than it is right now. We do have light wind. We had some light rain earlier today, but the temperatures aren't too bad. 40 degrees right now at the airport. Humidity about as high as it's going to get, 96%. The wind only 3 miles an hour out of the east, and the barometric pressure 30.02 inches. We've already talked a little bit about all the precipitation on the East Coast, and we have quite an amount of snowfall at Berkeley Springs, Virginia. This isn't 24 hours, a little bit more than that, but they've had 37 inches, and there have been dozens of places that have recorded between 1 and 3 feet of snow over the last day or so. Presque Isle of Maine had the coldest temperatures and the coldest wind chill, 27 below, and then you factor in the wind, it was 41 below. Vero Beach, Florida, the highest temperature, 81 degrees, and Lander, Wyoming, the highest wind gust. Fortunately, it wasn't really cold there, because the wind gust was 68 miles an hour. Across the region right now, temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s, but it shouldn't be falling much more than this overnight. 37 degrees in Ellensburg, 38 in Moses Lake, 42 in Wenatchee, only 30 though at Stampede Pass, and we have a pair of 40s for the Dalles and Yakima. Well, the first storm that brought us all the clouds and the light rain earlier this evening is continuing to scoot on into the Idaho Panhandle. We have a little bit of a clearing slot right here just off the coast. This will start to move over us tomorrow, so we'll see a little bit of sunshine with our clouds, but the big storm is still west of that, and that's what we're keeping our eye on. That's going to give us another good chance for some valley rain and mountain snow for Wednesday and Thursday. We also have, as I said earlier, that snow advisory for the Cascades for tonight. Up over 8 inches of snow is possible from the Canadian border all the way down through Oregon in the Cascades, so a good snow event. The skiers are going to like that. We have several little disturbances will be moving through, but the big one we're looking at is going to start really maturing as we move into Wednesday and Thursday, sliding on shore, giving us some gusty winds at times, especially in the Kittitas Valley by Wednesday and Thursday, and also some more areas of valley rain and mountain snow. And here are the remnants of that little storm that moved through. It's not really holding it very well together, but that's going to start moving into Idaho. Give us a couple showers overnight, but most of it's already done. We might see a stray shower tomorrow morning also, but I think most of it's going to be already done across much of the area. The Columbia Basin might see a little bit more of that. You can see by Wednesday, the precipcast is showing us the next round of showers is going to start moving on shore by late afternoon, and we'll see some more rain showers for Thursday as well. And even in the extended forecast, we're not done either. We'll see that in a second. Overnight tonight, we're going to have a lot of clouds, a few rain showers, but not very many more of them. A low of 35 in Ellensburg, 37 in Yakima and Toppenish, and 38 in Sunnyside and Prosser. Tomorrow, we're going to have some sunshine mixed with some clouds, and the temperatures are going to be awfully nice for the middle to latter part of February. 48 degrees for latter part of February, 48 degrees for a high in Ellensburg, 52 in Yakima and Toppenish, and 53 in Sunnyside and Prosser. You can see those highs are pretty steady through the beginning of next week. Low 50s for highs, low 30s for lows. Better chances for rain Wednesday and Thursday, and again next Sunday, and can't even rule a stray shower out on Saturday. Those are for your weather forecast. Have a great evening. Now back to Gary.
All right, I know it's kind of wet, but, you know, when we have mild weather like this, it's time to start thinking baseball.
You got it, Mariners. Spring training in full swing right now, and they're brimming with optimism. We'll tell you why. Coming up after the timeout.
Want to get a great $6 restaurant burger without the restaurant? The guacamole bacon $6 burger, new at Carl's Jr.
This weekend, Enterprise Rent-A-Car announces special low rates from just $9.99 a day. Friday till Monday from just $9.99 a day. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
1-800-RENT-A-CAR. In 1921, Calvin Coolidge cut taxes to jumpstart the economy. In 1962, President Kennedy cut taxes again to save the people money. And in 2003, we expect to see even more savings.
With 0% financing for 60 months during Ford's President's Day sales event. We're talking 0% for 5 years on almost every vehicle in stock, like Focus, Explorer, Ranger, and the best-selling F-150. 0% financing can save you over $10,000 in interest, but only for a limited time and only at your Northwest Ford stores.
She'll talk to you with no one else around, but only if you're able to entertain her. The moment conversation
When you're together, even when you're apart, that's M-Life from AT&T Wireless. Your mobile life made better.
Welcome to Walmart.
People deserve to have a good experience when they come here to Walmart.
The most important thing about my job is to make the customers happy so they come back to us again.
I think it's because of the people and the service and the respect that you get whenever you come here.
We always got a saying, the customer is number one.
We are nothing without our customers.
You know, I say, can I help you? What I can do for you?
I think we're all that way here.
Without the customer, I think we don't have no Walmart store.
If I can make someone's day a little bit nicer, then I've done my job.
Time is running out.
For the 2003 sale at Steve Hahn's VW Audi Suzuki. 2003, $20 down, 0 first month payment, $3 to fill your tank. The hottest sport utility on the road. A 99 Durango, over $20,000 Kelly Blue Book value. Steve's price, $14,990. Kelly Blue Book for a 99 Audi A4 Quattro is $19,985. Steve's price, $12,990 while it lasts. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now get to South First and Meade, Yakima.
A portion of the news is brought to you by your local Honda dealer.
Time to talk sports. Spring training is a time for optimism, and the Mariners are extremely optimistic about the coming season and the chance to get back on top in the AL West. New manager Bob Melvin says he'll rely heavily on veteran players for leadership this season. And after winning a World Series with Arizona Diamondbacks last year, Melvin says that's not out of the question for his new team. In fact, he brought it up to his players in an address earlier today.
And this is a team that's been on the verge the last 3 years and is considered one of the top teams in baseball. So, you know, there are quite a few teams out there that are trying to win a World Series this year, and we are definitely one of those teams.
You know, it's a time for a lot of optimism, and you keep these guys healthy, and everybody stays healthy this year. It's an old team, I think everybody knows that, but a very talented team, and if we can just keep everybody healthy, I think we can beat anybody.
Here now are the final results from our KNDO.com sports poll. In a landslide, you said re-signing veterans like Edgar Martinez and Jamie Moyer was by far the Mariners' best move this offseason with over 70% of the vote. Hiring Melvin and obtaining Randy Wynn were a distant second and third. Well, the pretrial hearing for Rasheed Wallace and Damon Stoudemire has been pushed back again. Their court appearance for misdemeanor marijuana possession in Chehalis was supposed to take place tomorrow, but Wallace and Stoudemire struck a deal with prosecutors to reschedule the hearing for next month. Rasheed and the Blazers hosting Latrell Sprewell and the Knickerbockers tonight at the Rose Garden. Spree picks off a Scottie Pippen pass and goes in for the breakaway jam. That gave New York a 1-point lead in the third. Then it's Wallace left open from outside, and somebody forgot to read their scouting report because the big fella can shoot it. More Wallace coming up now, and this time he has to turn around jumper from about 12 feet out to put the Blazers up by 9. 23 points tonight for Sheed. Then late in the game, it's Arvydas Sabonis with a sweet pass to Derek Anderson, who knocks down the triple, and that pretty much sealed the deal for Portland as they win their second straight 99-91. The NBA's trading deadline is only 3 days away, meaning Gary Payton's time in Seattle could be coming to an end. The Minnesota Timberwolves are reportedly interested in swinging a deal for GP, but the Sonics will be a tough sell since they're determined to keep their salary cap flexibility for this summer. Kenny Anderson is also reportedly being shopped around, as are several of the Sonics' big men. Well, Steve Beckler, a 23-year-old pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles, died this morning of a multi-organ failure due to heat stroke. Beckler, seen here during last season with the Rochester Red Wings minor league team, passed away less than 24 hours after complaining of dizziness after a team workout in Fort Lauderdale. An autopsy will take place tomorrow for the Medford, Oregon native. An Orioles spokesman says he could not confirm or deny a report that the supplement containing ephedrine was found in Beckler's locker. Other news and notes, Atlanta Braves pitcher Greg Maddux has agreed to the largest one-year contract in baseball history. Maddux and the Braves avoided salary arbitration today by settling on a $14.75 million deal. And Mike Tyson's heavyweight bout with Clifford Etienne has been called off. Tyson's people canceled Saturday's fight after he missed a flight to Memphis for the second day in a row. The official word, whether it's true or not, is that Tyson was too sick to fight. And finally tonight, the Yakima Red semi-pro soccer team has announced the dates of their open tryouts for the coming season. They'll be held March 8th and 9th at Marquette Stadium. And all soccer players over the age of 18 are invited to try out. There will be a $25 tryout fee for all players, but those who survive the open tryout will be invited back for the following weekend. You know what? Head coach Luis Marcel has been trying to talk me into playing a little indoor soccer with them on Sunday nights, and I told him he doesn't want me.
All right.
So don't expect to see me at the tryout.
You ever doing the mountain biking?
Not serious mountain biking.
All right, what do you see this? It's our picture of the night. Serious mountain biking underground. You have to see this to believe it. We'll show you next.
Looking to save big bucks on some great-looking furniture? Then you need to head for Furniture Row Outlet's President's Day's 18-month no-interest savings event, which means through Tuesday, February 18th only, not only will you get incredible bargains on some incredible-looking furniture, you'll also get no interest for 18 months. That's no interest until August 2004. Now's the time to roll into Furniture Row Outlet. Our 18 months no-interest finance offer ends Tuesday, February 18th in Yakima and Kennewick.
Kitchen is open 24 hours a day. When my children's friends are hungry, they come and find me. I always keep the pantry ready. Coming to Walmart Supercenter, you can get great prices. Their produce section is wonderful. It's fresh, it's crisp, it's colorful. You get great quality for less money. I can find any meat that I want. Pot roast, chuck roast, spiral ham is great. I always like to have something baked fresh for the family. I can get everything I need at my Supercenter. We all need to watch our pennies, and Walmart does that. This is where it all happens.
It's the President's Day drive-away at your Jeep dealer, and you've got an executive decision to make. Because now you can drive away with 0% financing on the entire Jeep lineup. Or you can choose a $1,000 cash allowance on Jeep Liberty, a $1,000 cash allowance on Jeep Wrangler, or a big $2,500 cash allowance on 2003 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Plus, you'll also get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. But it all ends soon, so get to the President's Day drive-away today.
Spider-Man! What's cracking, baby? Woo! Hey! Where you going, Spider-Man? Woo-hoo! Ha! You're getting the girl. Saving the day. Yeah! Go, Spider-Man!
If you're into computer stuff, go to the one place that has it all, like Spider-Man the computer game. And now, get no interest financing for 24 months on all desktop packages and notebook computers. Best Buy. Go ahead. Turn on the fun.
You asked KNDO to investigate, and we did. A viewer's email asked where funding for the new county jail was coming from and how much it would cost taxpayers. KNDO Local News In-Depth went straight to the person in charge of the project, and his answers may surprise you. Local taxpayers will pay zero on the $33 million price tag. We'll tell you why and how tomorrow on KNDO Local News at 6.
I'm Sunny Jenkins.
I'm Gary Darigol.
In-Depth on KNDO Local News.
Tomorrow at 6.
A portion of the news is brought to you by Edward Jones Investments.
We had some nice light rain earlier this evening. We're not quite done, but most areas won't be receiving much more rain tonight or tomorrow. There's just a couple showers in the forecast, and we'll have a little bit of sunshine tomorrow afternoon along with a few clouds, but it should be pretty nice for your Tuesday with highs back in the low 50s. That does it for the weather. Have a great night. Now back to Gary.
All right, doesn't look too bad. Downhill mountain bike racers left the mountains today to race nearly 3,000 feet underground. Where do you see this? It's our picture of the night. 16 men and 8 women raced in an old potassium salt mine in Germany, and there they go. Racers went down the mine shaft 2 by 2, starting at 3,000 feet, and raced another 328 feet deeper into the mine. Look at those bright spotlights. You're going to need those in a mine. They had them on their bikes to help illuminate the route, but get this, they reached speeds of up to 50 miles per hour going through the mine shaft.
Cool looking.
I don't know about that. That looks cool to a point. Like I said, we were just talking, Space Mountain is more our style. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, well, our next local newscast tomorrow morning beginning at 5.
Join Derek Francis, Amy Finley, and meteorologist Jeremy Baker, for the latest local news, forecast, and the weather every 15 minutes on KNDO Local News Northwest Today.
All right, we'll see you then.
Good night.
KNDO Local News. More local news, more often.
Stop. Don't feed your puppy adult dog food. Puppies have special needs. In fact, they require up to twice the nutrition of an adult dog. That's why puppies need Purina Puppy Chow. It's packed with high-quality protein sources, now including egg. There's no better way to grow little puppies into amazing dogs.
It's got to be the Puppy Chow.
Incredible puppy food, incredible puppies. Purina Puppy Chow brand.
Can it get any better than this? A complete hot and fresh meal that you don't have to cook? A real meal with tender, slow-cooked chicken, real home-style sides, and flaky oven-baked biscuits. Can it get any better? It just did. Because right now, KFC has great meals at a really great price. Stop by KFC today and get this 2-piece leg and thigh meal with 2 individual sides and a biscuit, all for only $2.99. Or bring home a 10-piece bucket of original recipe or extra crispy for only $8.99. So what are you doing for dinner tonight? Come to where the real meal value is. KFC.
Now you can get the weather information you need whenever you need it. The KNDO 24-hour Fast Alert forecast is there for you. Just call 225-2388.
You're watching NBC, America's late night leader.